A bullet in the head will really mess up
Do you wanna build a snowman? Do you wanna build a snowman? It doesn't have to be a snow.
The janitor opened the Cheetos bag but realized it was missing cheese. You see, since the factory machine broke down, one of the batches didn't have any of their famous cheese dust. So he took the plain chips home and started experimenting with spices from Mexican street corn. And once he perfected the recipe, he called the CEO directly and pitched it over the phone, who loved it so much that they decided to sell it in stores. But after they flew off the shelves, Frito-Lay permanently launched a flamin' hot line. She busted into the restaurant after the kitchen had already closed, demanding food. So the owner quickly ran into the kitchen himself to try and cook something for his most loyal customer. But after checking all of his cabinets, he realized he ran out of almost all of his ingredients. So he decided to cut some leftover tortillas into triangles and drop them into hot oil, letting them cook until they were crispy like a chip, topping them with some cheese and spicy jalapenos before rushing the plate out. And after she fell in love with the dish, nachos were born.
They were about to score, and he was the only one with the chance to stop it. But as the ball came across the field, he dove forward to block it. But just before he could, the ball deflected off his leg and went straight into his own net. The entire stadium went silent, and when they realized they were eliminated, his family thought he'd be in danger. They told him he had to leave the country. Everyone was mad, but he thought he'd be fine. But when he finally went out, people started recognizing him. They started yelling things at him, making fun of him. He didn't know who these guys were. He didn't know what to do, so he walked out to his car. But what he didn't know was those guys were following him outside. They were part of the cartel, and when their country made it to the World Cup, they bet millions on them to win. When he accidentally scored on his own goal, they lost everything. They walked up to him, and before he could get inside, they pulled out guns and started threatening him. He was begging for his life, but they shot 6 times. And when his friends ran out, they called ambulances. But minutes later, he was ruled dead.
He took a bite of ice cream and pulled a human finger out of his mouth, causing him to instantly feel sick and snap a photo as evidence before calling the police, who conducted a full investigation, tracing the ice cream back to a factory in India, where they discovered that a 24-year-old worker had his finger severed in a machine accident a month earlier. But when DNA tests finally confirmed the finger belonged to the worker, the factory temporarily shut down. She found dozens of maggot eggs inside her Chick-fil-A nuggets while eating them at her house. This caused her to feel super sick and immediately throw them out. But after realizing she needed evidence, she dug them out of the trash and put them in a clear bag. And when she went back to the store to show the manager, they claimed it was just batter and offered her a lousy $7 refund. So she took them back home, and after only a few days, the eggs hatched into full-on worms, causing her to post it on TikTok and get over 2 million views. And after the company saw the massive outrage, they were forced to shut down the store. He poured hot miso soup onto his handcuffs every time the guard slid him a meal. You see, the soup was loaded with salt, so it would slowly wear the metal down over time until his handcuffs finally slipped right off. And after doing the same thing to his food hatch in the cell door, he dislocated both of his shoulders to squeeze right through the tiny slot, allowing him to escape the prison without anyone ever knowing. The prisoner snuck into a wooden shipping container to try and escape. You see, since he repaired torn mailbags as part of his prison job, he had full access to all the materials he would need. So he secretly built an escape pod out of an old shipping pallet stacked with other mailbags. And when the time came, he quickly climbed inside when the guards weren't looking. And at exactly 9:45 a.m., the pallet was rolled straight out of the prison with him still hidden inside of it. But only 2 hours later, he popped out of the box, slipping off the back of the truck at a rest stop and disappearing for good. And by the time the guards realized he was missing from his cell, he was already long gone.